Welcome to my podcast, Up Your Total Glow, your podcast for your body, mind and soul to support, guide and empower you to uncover your most glowing, healthiest and feel-good version of you. I am super excited that you're here because if you ask me, there's nothing that looks and feels better. In today's episode, I'm speaking with the absolutely amazing Tom Paladino. Tom is a Scalar Light Researcher with over 25 years of experience developing transformative healing technologies using Scalar Light. Tom was inspired by Nicola Tesla, and he discovered an energy beyond the electromagnetic spectrum and harnessed it to create Scalar Light instruments. These instruments can identify and negate pathogens, balance brain waves, and harmonize chakras, offering profound benefits to mind, body, and soul. This is a very beautiful and inspiring interview, and Tom Paladino shares with us, of course, what is Scalar Light, then how does it improve our emotional and physical well-being, and what issues can Scalar Light address, and even how can Scalar Light put an end to our energy crisis. This interview is a must listen for you if you are looking for a different way to boost your emotional and physical well-being just with the use of a photograph, and you can do this anywhere. Please enjoy. Here is the amazing Tom Paladino. Hello and welcome, Tom. I am so excited to have you here today. How are you?
I am well. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Okay, let's dive straight into it. What are you truly passionate about and why?
I'm passionate about my work, my research, scalar research. Why? Because it helps people. Why? Because I see the prospect of this technology is changing the world for the better. So that's my mission.
Awesome. So tell us all about your amazing technology and what drove you to create it? Who inspired you? Or, there must be something that said to you, I don't know, maybe a journey, a health history, something where you felt like, okay, I need to do better. I want to uplift the world.
Thank you so much. God gave me the wisdom. The inspiration was from people, notably scientists such as Nicola Tesla. There was a great scientist, Nicola Tesla, who was working with scalar energy, but I call the energy of the light of the stars, the light of the sun. And the driving moment in my life, if you will, that turning point was when I started to read about Nicola Tesla, and I discovered his technology was just so superior to anything we're using today. So I said to myself, this technology is the future. This is the technology we have been yearning for. So why not bring forward this scalar technology? And I've done that. I've demonstrated that throughout my life. I'm in my laboratory and I'll demonstrate a scalar energy instrument, the Tesla instrument, and how this technology is like none other. This technology will serve to improve the human condition.
Amazing. So if I'm correct, this was like 25 years ago. You are now 25 years in your work. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. I'm 64 years of age, so I've been working with these instruments for a good 25, 30 years. That's correct.
Wow. Amazing. What a project, a true life project.
Yes.
So I would like to understand and hear more about this amazing technology. So let us help us to understand it, and if we can, and what can it do? So what kind of healing powers does it have?
That's where we're going to get into this. The point is, how does this improve our life? What's the point of this technology? So really quick, I'm going to show, this is a scalar energy instrument. And this instrument is, if you will, harnessing that energy from the sun and the stars. So the source of energy is stars. We don't, per se, have to create this energy, just tap into it. And once we tap into it, we can send this energy anywhere in the world. And the way I do that is I can work with people by way of their photograph.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, this is not electricity. So people will email me their photograph. This is my photograph that has an energy signature on it.
Mhm.
There's a force field on that photograph. And that force field, if you will, allows me to access the person's aura or their spirit or their, once again, their force field. So I work with people around the world through photographs, allowing me to have a global mission, whether it's one person or 100 people or 1,000 people. All of my work is through a photograph.
Mm.
Now, what is key about that, once I can access a person's aura or their force field, I can send energy into that force field. And I can do incredible things with that force field. For instance, if I took somebody's photograph and I wanted to balance their chakras, I could do so by placing their photograph inside that instrument.
Wow.
So that instrument, that energy in and of itself will balance the chakras. It will illuminate the mind. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to your audience what I mean by illumination. I hold in my hand a light bulb. It's not plugged in, obviously. When I pass this light bulb close to the instrument, the light bulb will illuminate. It will light up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the type of energy that's being downloaded into my aura, into my photograph. Once again,
Amazing.
so if I can illuminate a light bulb, then I can illuminate the mind, the 7 chakras. So this is, if you will, the ability to illuminate the mind with light, with energy. I never work with chemicals. And the fact that I access a person's aura, I keep it at the etheric level, at the level of information. So we're not working at a chemical level. So there's no chemical drawback here. There's no biochemical downside to my work. So that's just one of the, yeah, thank you. That's just one of the functions with energy that we can perform, scalar energy, to abet our, what I would call our psyche, our spiritual state. Many people tell me that when working through their chakras, they're much happier. Well, that stands to reason on account of the fact that we're, if you will, reprogramming the mind. We're reprogramming the chakras. The chakras contain information. If we can reprogram the chakras as points of information, we are happier. We're no longer addicted to drugs. This is what we found with people. Our results are extraordinary.
So how long does it take until you feel results? I can imagine that this is different from person to person, depending maybe also
Yes.
how much imbalance there is. But
Right.
what can you find? Like, what kind of range of time are we looking at?
Yeah. Some people say within the first week they feel better, and that they're giving up excessive alcohol. Their depression is being lifted within a week. Some people say it takes 2 or 3 months. So you're absolutely right. Everybody's an individual. So I cannot give a blanket statement. But I will say this, after 2 or 3 months, just about everybody, the greater majority say they feel better for some reason. Now, as a new science, this physics is not taught in the classroom. As a new science, we have to explore why people feel better. Again, these are not electrical instruments. This is scalar physics. It's a new branch of physics. And that begs the question, why? How does this work? Well, we have to understand how the energy of the stars works before we can understand why we feel the way we feel.
Tell us.
Yes, that's a good point. So if energy is fundamental, it is, then that's, if you will, the prime mover of creation.
Mm-hmm.
So when we want to reprogram soul, mind, and body, we go back to light, go back to energy. Only light, only energy is fundamental. And this energy is from the sun and the stars. So it is, if you will, the initial energy of the universe. So we're going back to what some people call source or God force energy or chi or prana.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to my work. We're going back to the cause. We don't work at the level of chemical or the effect. We work at the causal level. And when you can work at that level of cause, that first cause, who are so much more effective than working chemically.
Mm. So I absolutely agree with you. And I personally believe that we are all, our true essence is energy. That's the source we come from. And I also love the idea that, we all are essentially stardust. And for me, like what you're saying, I'm right. Like it proves my points. So this is awesome.
I'm going to show an animation. This is what a scalar wave would look like.
Wow.
It's a double helix.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So the energy is invisible, but if you can imagine that energy emanating from my Tesla. Now, what does that remind your audience of? Well, it reminds me of DNA. I'm going to hold up this animation of scalar energy. It's a double helix. That double helix, that primal energy, creates and maintains our DNA.
Wow. Mind blowing. Love it.
Okay, thank you. So now we're going back to cause, and the cause energy will cause our DNA. Scalar energy, the double helix, will download and create our double helix, our DNA molecule. What am I saying? DNA, our genomic form, is created by the energy of the stars. This is divine energy. That's how important this is. Now, some people have told me that the energy is so strong, they feel that their DNA is being reprogrammed. I've heard that from many people, and I would not doubt that. Now, I can't prove that because this is such a new science, but energy dictates everything. Energy dictates even DNA.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Yet, I can imagine that there are a lot of doubters who go like, well, yeah, sounds too good to be true. So you have offered me a trial. I'm actually trying out this amazing new energy. I think I'm on my 3rd or 4th day. And I know that for my audience, you will offer a 30-day trial. Is that correct? So for anyone who now can't quite imagine that this is truly working because it sounds too good, why don't you simply try it out and feel it for yourself? I guess you would agree with me. This amazing offer is still there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So you can go to our website or even our Facebook page. We offer free sessions for everybody in the world. And we do that because we want you to prove it for yourself. Now, consider what I'm saying. These are custom-built instruments. This work has never been duplicated. So how do I prove it? How do I tell people, yes, that this energy is very real, and that if you experience this soul, mind, and body, you're going to have an improvement in your spiritual, mental, and physical health? Well, the proof is in the pudding, so try it. Email us your photograph. You can include your entire family if you want, and your pets. And that way you can compare and contrast with family members. See how everybody feels in your family.
Amazing. I think this is mind-blowing, as I said before. And, I'm wondering, why are we still using antidepressants and all these chemical tools that are truly doing something to our biological makeup that is truly creating imbalance for us? So talk us a little bit through the physical benefits or the physical results that you can see. I always get very inspired by stories. So have you got a few beautiful stories for us?
I do. Let me explain how another function. When I want to identify a microbe and negate it, I don't ever attack a microbe chemically. For instance, a photograph of a microbe, this is the Epstein-Barr virus, it's very common, will cause perhaps mononucleosis. Many people say chronic fatigue syndrome is related to this. I look at everything by way of energy, not a chemical. If I take a photograph of Epstein-Barr, I follow my thinking, and I place it in the instrument side by side my photograph, the two photographs communicate. That's right. The energy Epstein-Barr has a signature. I have a signature. If I, as a quantum being, if I have Epstein-Barr located, identified on my photograph, this instrument will identify the energy of Epstein-Barr and negate it.
Wow.
I'm going to repeat that. The
so
energy
cool.
of it is, thank you. The energy of Epstein-Barr, which is the cause, can be identified on my photograph and negated. Never working at the biological level, working at the informational level. Now, I have to rely upon people to provide a testimony, and many people will write it. We have about 3,000 testimonies on the website, and people say they feel better. Many people say, I no longer have the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. This is, I'm going to share with the audience, this is the example of the PCR test. After I work with the person, this individual attests that they no longer have a viral load for Epstein-Barr. This individual tells me that they no longer have a viral load for herpes. Now, these are scientific tests that people on their own doing have followed up with. Now, that's quite extraordinary. Can medical science prove that? No, it's not medical science. This is the new science in which we're working with energy fields. So we don't have to consider this a biological, a biochemical process. So what's my point? Nothing can go wrong with a photograph. It's divine energy. It's at the informational level. My photograph cannot develop a pimple. My photograph cannot develop a headache. We're no longer working at the level of the effect. We're working at the level of cause. There's a gigantic difference.
Wow. So why hasn't someone come up with all of this before? Why only now? And why are we still using other ways to try and negate certain issues instead of healing?
Well, remember earlier I said this is free energy from the stars. And when it's free, there's a pushback. Now, if you could make something that is so highly prized, free, energy is free from the stars, that will upset the economic order. So this type of research is suppressed. My research is suppressed. As hard as I try to get this out there to the general public, only kind people like you, Ruth, take me up on this. Major media sources will not report on this. Even though this could benefit the world, major media sources are being controlled.
And yet again, thank you, media, that you just put out what you want to be seen. This is not the first time that we see this. Thank you for naming it as clearly as it is. That's absolutely what I see in my work, unfortunately, as well. We all know, for example, how unhealthy high sugar consumption for us all is, yet it is a great market to make money with. So it's still not banned. So many things are still freely available, even though they make us sick and sicker. Amazing. So what would you suggest to my audience other than grabbing a picture and sending it off to you? What can they do to empower themselves? And you go.
That's a great question. And I'm going to segue into the second part of our discussion. Scalar energy is everywhere, including your mind. What am I saying? Brain waves are scalar waves. The way you think, you project a brain wave. Your emotion is a wave. Emotions are scalar waves. Consider this, the mind, the heart. These are scalar functioning instruments, so to speak. When we think, when we feel, we send out energy, light type energy. We send out scalar energy, not electricity. And those thoughts, those feelings transform us, change us, guide us, direct us. Now, this gives a great deal of, there's corroboration to what I'm saying by people who say, think positively. When you think positively, you're developing an energy field, a scalar energy field. That's the way you're thinking. So it stands to reason if this energy dictates everything, including thought and feelings, then when you create this standing scalar wave, it will change your outcome. It will change the way you look at the world. It will change the way you interact with people. So for your audience, no, you don't have a scalar light instrument. Don't think so. But you have something far superior, your thoughts and your feelings. And again, there's a science behind thinking and feeling. The science is scalar science.
Beautiful. I love it. And I guess it takes a little bit more than just positive mindset. It takes truly feeling this in your heart, so that there is a resonance from your thoughts and your heart. Because I have seen a few people who have told me, I don't know what's happening, but it's not changing. I'm getting up every day again. I'm trying so hard. I'm being super positive. Yet they couldn't really feel that positivity. There was no true gratitude, no true love at that moment in their hearts because they were so stressed out. And it is my experience that then this is not enough. Just forcing the positive mindset is unfortunately not enough. But maybe you have a different approach to this. I don't know.
No, I agree with you. And some people, you have to go into yourself. You have to concentrate on yourself. As a researcher, I concentrate. I have goals every day, and I concentrate on myself. If I keep my thoughts positive and my feelings positive, I always have a good day.
Yeah.
So I encourage people, if you have to just surround yourself with a few people and avoid negative consequences, avoid a negative circumstance, do so. Why? Don't let a negative person get in your way. I don't. I strongly suggest that you do not do that, or at least try to avoid that as much as possible. It's a waste of time. It's not productive. So let's be happy. And the key to that is, I think, having a relationship with God, a relationship with people, and thinking these positive thoughts, being a good person, and having, if you will, virtuous feelings. All of this will really dovetail into your life, improving your life. Now, hopefully you can impart that with family and friends, but don't let yourself get into a downward spiral with the world chaos, because the world is not following that positive thinking. I can guarantee you, some people don't think this way.
I agree. And I love how you absolutely beautifully combine spirituality with mind-breaking research. So this is awesome. And you've mentioned in our pre-chat something about that your amazing scalar light could even address our energy crisis. Is this something I have made up, or can you just elaborate on that?
No, that's a good point. Scalar energy is everywhere, first of all. So it's free energy from the sun and the stars. And nothing can impede the energy. I'm going to explain what I mean. Again, I'm going to hold a light bulb in my hand, and I'm going to show how scalar energy will pass through a wooden board and illuminate a light bulb. Okay. Beautiful. So there's no boundary to this energy. It's everywhere. And no barrier, not even a board, stop this illumination of a light bulb. Now, if I can illuminate one light bulb, why can't I illuminate a million light bulbs? Eventually, once I power these instruments up, I should be able to illuminate a city, a country.
Wow.
So it's free energy from the sun and the stars. Now, notice when I'm working with this energy, I don't need satellites. I do not need an infrastructure. I do not need power plants. I do not need wires. It's wireless. The energy is everywhere. You simply tap into the ether. So it's free energy with a free infrastructure. That will solve our energy problems.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And I just think it's so beautiful to know how beautiful we are, how beautiful our universe is. I think it's just empowering magic. And I, for me, have always known that we are so much more than just our bodies and our minds, and that we hold such an amazing innate ability to reset, to rejuvenate, and to rebalance if we support ourselves the right way. And obviously you have an amazing tool for that. So what about, do you see a lot of impact from all the technology that we are exposed to every day? Like, can you see with your tools or through what your tools are detecting, can you see true impact from all of the exposure to social media, all of the things we are exposed to every day?
Yeah, I can't detect social media, or I can't detect, say, electromagnetic pollution. But I will say this energy will correct what I would call the imbalance imparted by electricity and magnetism. This scalar energy will correct the chakras, will correct our thinking. And that's a good point.
Is there anything it won't correct?
No. Why? This is the energy of the sun and the stars. Scalar energy is the first principle. It's the first cause. So the first cause should correct an addiction to social media. Yeah. A first cause should correct alcohol addiction. And we've seen that with many people. Many people come out of their stupor, frankly, out of their drunken stupor, out of their stupor of, if you will, becoming enmeshed with social media, becoming obsessed with social media. So it gives people that balance. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but many people have told us that this has given them a clearer perspective, almost to the point of correcting their conscience. Their judgment is now keen. They can distinguish between right and wrong. Some of that, much of that, if you will, is a disease signature. And a disease signature can be found whether it's cancer or depression or drug addiction. There's a signature, there's an intelligence behind disease. And it's my thought that scalar energy, this divine intelligence, will correct disease signatures.
There's truly no excuse of not trying this out, because we can try it out anywhere. We don't have to do anything to try it out other than sending you the photograph. So, I often hear in my practice that, I can't meditate. I don't have the time to meditate. I don't know how to, which for me is also accessing this divine being that we are, and rebalancing some of our, or clearing some of our beautiful minds. And so there's no excuse, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to sit there in silence, go inward, do all the scary things. Do you agree?
I agree. And I want to make this very clear. Everybody's in control. Everybody has a mind and a heart. Once again, everybody can make, and can make or break their day. I choose to have a good, productive day. It's early here in the United States of America. I choose to have a very great day. It's early in the morning, but my choice is to think well, to feel well. And I'm going to have a great day, a productive day. And if we can just focus, people, just focus. Don't get caught up on the fighting in the world. There's too much fighting. And obviously there's a downside. There's social media sometimes can be uplifting. Too much of social media is a trap. You're wasting your time. So hopefully this will correct your conscience. Hopefully you'll see the difference between rightful action and incorrect action.
You're amazing. I always like to end the interview with you giving my audience 3 golden nuggets. I mean, you've already given so much beautiful wisdom and so much of your time, but if you could just summarize 3 things that you would suggest for them so that they can live a healthier, happier life.
I'm going to go back to the golden rule. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. If the world would practice that, this would be a different world.
Yeah.
to really put that into action, to love God, love your neighbor, and love yourself. Some people don't love themselves.
Many.
That's
actually.
a drawback. You should.
I agree. It all starts with ourselves. If we can't nourish ourselves, if we can't love ourselves, we can't put it forward.
Okay.
I 100% agree with you. You are absolutely amazing. Your research is absolutely what we need at this moment in time. I will share whatever I can share and whatever I can do to help you put your amazing technology forward. I want for everyone to have access to this and to rebalance themselves. Where can we find you?
The website is scalarlight.com. Visit the website. Again, anybody in the world can upload photographs. We'll work with you for free. There's no obligation. Scalarlight.com.
Amazing. Is there anything I haven't asked you and you wish I had?
No, this is a productive interview, and thank you for highlighting my work, and thank you, those of you in the audience. Let's make this a better world. I'm with you.
Absolutely. And again, I truly, truly thank you for your amazing work and for helping me and so many others to make our world a healthier, happier, more amazing place. Thank you so much.
If you love and enjoy my podcast, then please do me a favor and share this episode with one other person who you believe would greatly benefit from it. I know that you were born to live your best life and feel absolutely amazing in your precious body, your brilliant mind, and your boundless soul. So what are you still waiting for? Please make sure you do. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I believe in you. Keep glowing. Much love.